Hi, I'm Katie Kempner, and welcome to Perspectives here at Advertising Week Europe. Perspectives is a series of inspiring conversations with remarkable working women who are leading busy and exciting and successful lives. And it's my pleasure to start the day today with Rachel Forde, who's the CEO of Spark Foundry. Welcome.
Welcome, thank you. Great to be here.
And this is our second
It
conversation
is.
over the
I know.
years.
We're practically friends.
I consider us friends, Rachel. In the U.S., we would be
Oh yeah,
considered friends.
absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, I know you've been doing this speed mentoring here.
Yeah.
And mentoring is something that is very important and
Yeah.
important to you. Could you talk a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah. So this morning, through NABS, an industry body that helps people in their careers, we've had a whole speed mentoring event. So there's a number of us across the industry, and young people attending Ad Week come along and kind of ask for a few pearls of wisdom, I suppose. And it's something that's really important to me. So as a member of WACL, I mentor a lot of women. So it's great to mentor men and women as this morning, because I think men need kind of like that advice and kind of seeing that people in positions of seniority are actually normal and real, and they've come through the same things that they have. So I just think it's a really great conversation to have with young people coming through the industry.
What are some of the questions that keep coming up the most?
So there is a thing. I mean, with so much change and disruption, and the one thing we're certain of is change. There is a lot of questions around how do I plan my career? Should I be getting lots of different experience? Should I be going one way through one organisation? And I suppose the answer is there's no right or wrong answer. You've got to do what feels right for you. As a kind of veteran of 20 years with one company, I suppose my advice would be to get as much diverse experience as you can. So within my 20 years, I'd always put my hand up for lots of different opportunities, get different experiences, work with different people. I think young people now have a real opportunity to work in different markets. So it's a bit like do what feels right, say yes to as many things as you can, and kind of be a hand raiser and get involved.
Do you tell people also to make sure to get credit? I was talking yesterday with a guest about the fact that a lot of times people will do something, they don't really want to do it, and they don't really look to get credit for it. And I think that's a mistake that young people make a lot. If you're going to do it, make sure people understand you're doing it, right?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, because it's even the same thing if you're in a meeting and you come up with an idea, make sure you own that idea. It gets minuted, and I think it's also our responsibility to make sure that people do get the credit. So, okay, you've got to put yourself out there, and you've got to be a self-starter. At the end of the day, it's up to you to define your career. But as leaders as well, we need to make sure that credit where credit's due, and you need to have that as a culture within an organisation, that if you do something, you get the credit, without a doubt.
So especially talking to young people, today in the press there was a lot of news about the maternity policies here in the UK. Does that come up a lot? How do I, or maybe sort of more broadly, of how do I plan to have a family and a career?
Yeah, so obviously it's always been a almost like a female question, but the more and more we're trying to do as organisations is to recognise that parenting is a shared responsibility. So more and more companies are looking at paternity leave. I mean, Aviva today announced that they have equal paternity and maternity leave. That's really helpful for men as well. I think it's to have a child and spend that time with a child. It's a great opportunity for men and women, and it shouldn't be solely on the female. It is still ultimately, by a lot of our organisations, the females that take the time out. But again, as organisations, we're getting a lot better at wrapping those maternity or paternity leavers around with good kind of mentoring us and support as they enter their leave, and then making sure that you've got a good system for their return, because it's really the return where you spent some time out, your confidence may be low, you've got different responsibilities now. Actually, that return to work for a mother or a father is really key to make sure they get back into the organisation and feel that confidence and that support. So yeah, there's a lot of work being done around returning to work, which is really positive step for the whole industry.
So in the U.S., I've heard this phrase returnship, not so much when you're coming back from maternity or paternity leave, but especially when a woman is taking a long time off and is trying to re-enter the workplace. Through the organization, WACL, that you're a part of, are there any programs for women that have taken off some time to be, to be mothers and now are trying to return into the workplace?
There was, we had a previous we called it Return to Businessship, that was run by a previous HR director at my company, and that was all around putting together a whole training program to help people get back into business. So there are programs that exist around kind of interview skills, kind of core knowledge of the media landscape, confidence skills. So there are programs that exist. WACL, we do a lot through mentoring. Also, I chair the Future Leaders Award Committee, and those so we offer training bursaries to women. And in actual fact, for the first time this year, we offered those 100% training bursaries. Historically, it had been that your employer had to give 25% to show that they endorsed that you were going to go on this training program. Now we took away that employer endorsement to actually allow people that were starting up their own businesses or had spent some time out of the industry, that they could actually then take a course which would then help them get back into work. So yeah, that's something I'm particularly proud of.
So, as someone who has been a mentor to so many people and very interested in people succeeding, I like to just end by asking you, and I asked you this before, so
oh my God,
I don't know if you remember what you said.
Can't remember
but,
the question.
Maybe there's something new. So, if there one piece of advice that has helped guide you through your life and your career that you could share with us?
Oh gosh, it's $1 million question. I think. Well, actually, it's my oath. My oath is make a difference. And I think it's about anything that you approach in life, kind of don't do it in mediocre. Try and always, if great's out there, never settle for good. And it's that whole thing around pushing yourself, do something you feel a little bit uncomfortable with. There's the whole thing around, growth and comfort don't coexist. So almost give yourself permission that, look, this actually scares me a little bit. Mm-hmm. So do those things that make you scare you. Do those things that this is going to make a difference. Try and encourage the people around you. And actually, I do the same to with my two daughters. It's like we go for it. We go on holiday and we go for it. We're actually going to see the orangutans in Sumatra over Easter.
Wow!
And then lie on a beach for a week. That's my bit. Just lying on the beach for a week. So I think just make a difference. Make a difference in your life, in your work, in your family, with your friends. Don't settle for mediocre.
Well, it sounds like you're really doing that. And thank you for coming and talking with us today.
Not at all. Thank you very much. Have a great week.
You too.
Thank you.
And thank you.